Hello everyone. This is part 3 of the topic History of Commerce in India, section 1 of the chapter. Topics covered in this video is the trading communities, merchant corporations, and India began to re-industrialize. First topic that we would discuss is the trading communities. Trading communities are those group of people which does trading in different parts of the country. The first part, these trading communities were the Punjabi and Multani merchants who handled business in northern region, whereas the Bhatts they does business in the states of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Second, in western India, these groups were called as Mahajans, and Chat were the important trading communities of the south. In urban centers such as Ahmedabad, the Mahajan community were represented by their chief, and these chiefs were called the Nagar Seth. The chief were called the Nagar Seth. Other urban groups were the professional classes such as Hakim and Vaid. Hakim and Vaid means physician. Hakim and Vaid means physician. Vakil, that is the lawyer. Pandit or Mullah, these were the teachers. Painters, magicians, calligraphists, all these were the people who managed trade in the other urban. They can come under the other urban groups, and they manage trade in different parts of the country. The next topic is the merchant corporations. Corporations are the associations. The merchant associations or corporations were the trade guilds. And trade guilds, as you know, these were the association of traders or producers that controlled trade, protected the interest of the traders. So association of people or traders or producers that controlled trade and protected the interest of the traders were called the association. They were called the association, and this association of traders is known as the trade guilds. The merchant community, they were divided into different groups, and the groups were referred to as the guilds, that is trade guilds, and they protected the interest of the traders. These organizations or corporations, they framed their own rules and regulations so that trade can be conducted in a better way. Trade and industrial taxes were the main source of revenue. Trade and industrial taxes were the main source of revenue. Example, custom duties, tariff derived from state to state, province to province. Then you have another type of tax such as the ferry tax. Right to receive labor tax was generally transferred to the local bodies. Means the local bodies, they also collected taxes, and the tax was referred to as the labor tax. The tax was referred to as labor tax. Labor tax was collected by the local bodies. They have the right to collect this type of tax. The guild chief, that is the head of the association, they dealt directly with the king or tax collectors. That is the guild chief, the head of the association, they dealt directly with the king and or the tax collectors. The guild merchants, they also act as a custodian of religious interest. The guild merchants, they also acted as a custodian of the religious interest. It means they undertook the task of building temples. They undertook the task of building temples and made donations by taking taxes from their members. Thus, the commercial activities enabled big merchants to gain power in the society. These big merchants, they gained power in the society because they collected taxes, and they also contributed in the development of the temples. They also started giving donations in the name of religion, and so these the trade guilds members, the head of the trade guilds, the big merchants, they started gaining power in the society. Now we have trade guilds, the association of traders. Now the question arises, what were the major trading centers? What were the major trading centers? Where was trade most popular in ancient India? It was Patliputra. This Patliputra is present day Patna. Present day Patna is Patliputra. Then you have Peshawar, Takshila, Indraprastha, Mathura, Varanasi, Ujjain, Surat, Madurai. These were the important places where trades were conducted. The next topic is India began to re-industrialize. India began to re-industrialize means that in India, industrialization started. Before independence, we knew the condition of our country. There was the British rule, and Britishers, they did very little in order to develop the agriculture and industry in our country. Industry was the most backward, and so after independence, the major challenge was to develop our agriculture as well as industry. The process of rebuilding of economy started after independence. India went for centralized planning. The first 5-year plan was implemented in 1952. More importance was given to the establishment of modern industries, the modern technological and scientific institutes, space and nuclear programs. In spite of the best efforts, the Indian economy could not develop at a very rapid pace. The reason was lack of capital, increase in population, huge expenditure on defense, and infrastructure was not proper. In the present scenario, Indian economy is considered to be the one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and it is the preferred destination for foreign direct investment. There is rising income in our country. There is more and more savings. There is more and more investment opportunities. There is increased domestic consumption, and a most important thing, there is a larger population for young people. There is larger population of the young people in our country, so there is large scope of development in the country. From time to time, government has taken various steps for the development of the country. And the most recent steps taken by the government of India for the development of the country is announcing of the schemes such as Make in India, Skill India, Digital India. These are some of the schemes which are announced to attract more and more foreign investment. Some of the schemes which are announced by the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, so that the development of industries can take place in a better way. And it is expected that we will be having a favorable balance of trade in which exports would be larger than the imports, and the prosperity of industries will be there in the country.